because I'm running the show on this computer. This application doesn't want to close. I'm forcing it closed right now. There's no delay. We're not waiting for computations. Close the fucking app. That's the way, that is the way an operating system behave. I'm thinking about going to Linux. The only thing I'm worried about is that, I work on computers and I need to see what most people are seeing to keep up with the interface. So that's what keeps me away from something like Linux. The Americans are loud compared to the Canadians. Well, maybe, but I still thought it was somewhat offensive. Quebecois are every bit as loud, obnoxious as the Americans. They sure are, man. And I know that they come in vacation in the summers, Paul, because I was up there. They used to have a name for the Frenchmen, the French Canadians that came into Vermont, and they called them grape smugglers because they wore Speedos, and you can use your imagination to figure that one out. I personally never smuggled any grapes there, but did smuggle a couple coconuts around and about. I'm a tall guy, is what I'm saying, and you come equipped with certain equipment, and that makes me. I was thinking today, what if I like funny names for pornos, and I don't even watch pornos. As far as like videos you would watch, I don't. I just, I've heard of Debbie Does Dallas and like Taboo. That's it. Those are the two titles that stick out because they gained fame. I was thinking today, you got to find fun, creative names for pornos. So I was thinking, what if you had and this would make a decent theme. You have these women, and they're trying to become porn stars in this porno. Remember, they're acting. And the way the director figures out who's really good is how fast they can make a guy hit her. So what you could do is you could have the women in a room competing, say 10 of them, each one with one guy, and call it Ready, Set, Blow. Yeah, that's simple. See, it's got a catch to it. It's very recognizable. It's applicable. It covers a decent theme as porno themes go. Because, guys, how many of you guys out there ever saw a porno and said, this plot really moved me? The subplot also was tugging at my heartstrings. No, you didn't. Typically, you watched for 5 minutes your favorite part, and then you turned it off. We know how this works. So what if porn movies actually started getting good plots? Would we know how to act? You'd be mad. Don't mess with me. Don't do a cliffhanger. I just came to see skin. And now you got me thinking about what's going to happen to Mandy when the cab comes back. I don't want to think about that. See, that would be a problem if porn started getting good. It'd be confused. We would, what? I go here from my porn, here from my movies. You're putting them together. That's not like chocolate and peanut butter, my friends. That is like pickles and gasoline. You just don't put them together. There's no good reason to put them together. Don't do that. Don't start putting good plot. I've changed my mind. Don't make porn movies good. Then again, don't be afraid to show more nudity in decent flicks. How about that? Yeah, we're animals, aren't we? Isn't that what you are, Grandpa Al, just under the surface of the skin? Isn't that what you are, Andrew, when you go outside and you look and you see a lady? What do you call them over there in Australia? Do you call them, I know you don't call them lassie or anything, but, well, maybe you do. Because some British stuff came over. So, and she's wearing the Daisy Dukes. Relatively little of her ass remains covered by cloth. And you're saying to yourself, because you can't think of words, because your animal, which you're 98% of, that 2% conscious and conscientiousness on top, it sits down. It has a seat because the Daisy Dukes, you saw the butt, you said, ding, 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 we have a winner. You get to choose now between having a fantasy that you actually will get to know this girl and have fun with her, or go home disappointed and do what modern teenagers are calling FAP, which I don't know what that means. I don't know where the word came from. It sounds like it sounds like an acronym. It's probably something like, well, you can imagine. I could come up with 100 different acronym meanings for FAP. But I'm guessing that it's onomatopoeia, which is to say that FAP is describing a sound. If you were to say it repeatedly over and over, you can do the math there. And I bet some of you just did. Some of you were alone, you knew nobody was listening, so you said, is he right? Let me see. Fap, 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 fap. That is what it sounds like. Holy guacamole. Yeah, that's what you did. That's what we do behind closed doors. We do things we wouldn't tell people about. And we think things we would never want people to know. That's what the animal does. Sometimes I want to free this animal. You guys have heard me do shows where I just sometimes wish I could go in and say, you're free, all societal norms have been erased, we're starting over, let's be cavemen. But then people get pissed off and say, what about all the progress we've made? And I say, well, true, we have made a lot of progress. And then I look around the world and go, but have we really? There's that topical presentation of progress. There's the stuff in speeches that people give. And then there's the actual behavior. The behavior behind closed doors. The behavior in your mind when you're driving on the interstate and what you're thinking about other drivers. That's the real person. That's the real human. That's the one I'm interested in. We don't have to always talk about them. I appreciate niceties. I appreciate that topical layer of sweetness. I think we need it. It makes life a little better. But I know what's going on underneath, and I think you do too. Why do we pretend that's not there? I wonder why. I wonder why we pretend that we are so separated from animals. We're not really. We're really not. Let me close this window here. I got stuff that opened and wasn't supposed to be opened, so hopefully this will mess you guys up. So we are processing right now through, my voice is coming through Radio Boss, which doesn't do anything. It does do it if you set it to, but I'm running it through something called Breakaway Live, which is it's a pre-processor, I guess you would call it, instead of a post-processor. And it is processed before it comes into Radio Boss. And it's to take some of the hiss out. I mean, I've got a heater out here running tonight. And, yeah, I'm listening a little bit right now just to make sure it's... Yeah, it could be better. I could probably... Yeah, I could probably fix some of that. But I'm going to stop that. I could probably make that a little bit better, but not tonight. Tonight, we're just going to focus on the show. Got the news up here. Before we do that, I will take... I'm just in practice here, so bear with me, but I'm just going to take a quick glance over the chat room. Hi, Val's in there. Paul's in there. Andrew's in there. Grandpa Al's in there. And I'm going to go on with the show, but I will be checking in on you guys. We're taking calls tonight if anybody wants to call in. The Skype is Mr.Kevin.Kierstead, K-I-E-R, stead as in steady. Or you can call in. 910-NO-LYING is the number, 910-665-9464. You can find all of that information as well as the other ways to follow the show on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Truth on Tap Show. Don't forget the show. TOTS is an easy way to remember that. Little analogy there. Facebook.com/Truth on Tap Show gives you all the ways to follow. The iHeart links, the Spreaker links, and everybody's tweeting. It's, I was watching The Daily Show today, an old episode, and they were talking about doing exorcisms over Skype. They're doing it, I mean, it was hilarious, yes, but it completely took my brain from moving about 16 miles an hour to moving about -1 miles per hour. Or for those of you in the UK, about -2.1 kilometers per hour. I can't do that math right now. So they're not using the holy water. What are they going to do? Throw it at the screen? They are using the crucifix. They are using the Bible. And if you give this priest a donation of just $320, you'll get the best exorcism you could possibly get over Skype. And he's dead serious. It's Sweet Smiles. I know. Add you to Skype. Okay, I will. Let's see. How do you do this? So this person isn't in your contact. Okay. Accept. There we go. I don't know. I'm not real good with Skype. I'm just learning it. So bear with me. 5 minutes will be the limit for any phone calls coming in. I'm holding my calls to 5 minutes, and then I kick you off. And why I'm doing that, there's a few reasons. Let's talk about it. As I said, this is a critical junction for this show. My 11 days sabbatical in the desert, roaming to find meaning. I have come up with a few things, and one is I don't like phone calls. I don't like them. I think Gateway may have done that to me. You have to remember that at Gateway, when I worked in IT at Gateway at first. I worked through a temporary company called Manpower, and I worked in information technology, and then I transferred over to Gateway proper, hired by Gateway, into technical support. I wanted to do both, and so I got there. And what happens is you're literally connected to a phone base. This was 1999. With a cord. And every time you say goodbye to someone, there's a small tone, and the next person is on. And we did 4 10-hour shifts per week. And I liked my job there. I enjoyed helping people. I got more client appreciation letters, swear to God, both at Hampton, Virginia, and at Colorado Springs, Colorado, when I went out there, transferred, than anybody else on my team. Everybody said, how does Kevin get all the letters? Very simple. I'll give you that little secret. 1, don't make people feel stupid. 2, take 1 minute and listen to people, regardless of whether or not what they're saying has to do with the problem. Listen to them. 60 seconds. Give them 60 seconds. There's your solution. That's how you're going to get the letters. So my whole thing there is I was literally connected to the phone, and it was somewhat torturous because there almost was no break. You were there. You were locked in. And when I'm on the phone speaking with my mom, for example, who insists on speaking an hour or sometimes longer per call, which is why I don't talk to her very often, and I feel guilty for that, my hands sweat. I mean, it's serious. It's gone to a psychological condition now. My hands sweat. I have to pace. I cannot sit and talk to her or anybody else for more than 5 minutes. I have to get up and pace. And frankly, my body isn't always in a good condition to do that. So I'm experiencing a lot of pain one day, and I have to get up and pace. Well, now it's hurting twice as bad. So taking long phone calls is something that I've discovered is a problem for me. So I'm not going to be taking long phone calls. Now, we may have situations where I have a co-host on. I'm also going to do a hockey show. I'll have a co-host on. But that's different because that's where 2 people have agreed to talk about a topic, and one knows that part of his job is to carry the conversation. You don't just have random, hey, what's up, this and that. I have to limit it. Maybe that'll change in the future. 5 minutes. This person who has followed me on Twitter is named Enola Hayden, and she's making fun of Americans. So I don't know why she followed me. She seems to have a very carnassial edge to her. I haven't used that word in a long time. Very tight edge, kind of a growling, snarling edge, just like, go ahead and say something wrong. Interesting. And I don't even know if that's her. You don't know who's who on the internet anymore. What's that doing to us? Remember, for those of you that are older than, say, 25, you remember a time where when someone said they were somebody, they were somebody. You could prove it because you weren't talking to them. I mean, once in a while you might get a phone call that somebody said they were somebody they weren't, but at least you had the voice there. Now you got the picture, you got the profile, you've got, more pictures of, look, this is really me, and still you don't know. So trust has dropped. Trust in your fellow human. In various countries, it would have been at varying levels anyway. In each of those countries, it has dropped. because now people can fake more easily, and we don't know who to trust. And isn't that a bit